Wuthering Heights, Chapter 23, Part 2. It lasted so long that it frightened even me. As to his cousin, she wept with all her might, aghast at the mischief she had done, though she had said nothing. I held him till the fit exhausted itself. Then he thrust me away, and leant his head down silently. Catherine quelled her lamentations, also took a seat opposite, and looked solemnly into the fire. "How do you feel now, Master Heathcliff?" I inquired, after waiting 10 minutes. "I wish she felt as I do," he replied. "Spiteful, cruel thing! Hareton never touches me. He never struck me in his life, and I was better off today, and there—" His voice died in a whimper. "I didn't strike you," muttered Cathy, chewing her lip to prevent another burst of emotion. He sighed and moaned like one under great suffering, and kept it up for a quarter of an hour, on purpose to distress his cousin, apparently, for whenever he caught a stifled sob from her, he put renewed pain and pathos into the inflections of his voice. "I'm sorry I hurt you, Linton," she said at length, racked beyond endurance. "But I couldn't have been hurt by that little push, and I had no idea that you could either. You're not much, are you, Linton? Don't let me go home thinking I've done you harm. Answer. Speak to me." "I can't speak to you," he murmured. "You've hurt me so that I shall lie awake all night choking with this cough. If you had, excuse me, if you had it, you'd know what it was. But you'll be comfortably asleep while I'm in agony, and nobody near me. I wonder how you would like to pass those fearful nights." And he began to wail aloud for every pity of himself. "Since you are in the habit of passing dreadful nights," I said, "it won't be Miss who spoils your ease. You'd be the same, better be the same she never come. However, she shall not disturb you again, and perhaps you'll get quieter when we leave you." "Must I go?" asked Catherine dolefully, bending over him. "Do you want me to go, Linton?" "You can't alter what you've done," he replied pettishly, shrinking from her, "unless you alter it for the worse by teasing me into a fever." "Well, then I must go," she repeated. "Let me alone at least," said he. "I can't bear your talking." She lingered and resisted my persuasions to departure a tiresome while, but as he neither looked up nor spoke, she finally made a movement to the door, and I followed. We were recalled by a scream. Linton had slid from his seat onto the hearthstone, and lay writhing in the mere perverseness of an indulged plague of a child, determined to be as grievous and harassing as it can. I thoroughly gauged his disposition from his behavior, and saw at once it would be a folly to attempt humoring him. Not so my companion. She ran back in terror, knelt down, and cried, and soothed and entreated. He grew quiet from his lack of breath, by no means from compunction at distressing her. "I shall lift him on the settle," I said, "and he may roll about as he pleases. We can't stop to watch him. I hope you are satisfied, Miss Cathy, that you are not the person to benefit him, and that his condition of health is not occasioned by attachment to you. Now then, there he is. Come away as soon as he knows there is nobody by to care for his nonsense. He'll be glad to lie still." She placed a cushion under his head, and offered him some water. He rejected the latter, and tossed uneasily on the former, as if it were a stone or a block of wood. She tried to put it more comfortably. "I can't do with that," he said. "It's not high enough." Catherine brought another to lay above it. "That's too high," murmured the provoking thing. "How must I arrange it, then?" she asked despairingly. He twined himself up to her as she half knelt by the settle, and converted her shoulder into a support. "No, that won't do," I said. "You'll be content with the cushion, Master Heathcliff. Miss has wasted too much time on you already. We cannot remain 5 minutes longer." "Yes, yes, we can," replied Cathy. "He's good and patient now. He's beginning to think I shall have a greater misery than he will tonight if I believe that he is worse for my visit. But then I dare not come again. Tell the truth about it, Linton, for I mustn't come if I have hurt you." "You must come to cure me," he answered. "You ought to come because you have hurt me. You know you have extremely. I was not as ill when you entered as I am at present, was I?" "But you've made yourself ill by crying and being in a passion." "I didn't do it at all," said his cousin. "However, we'll be friends now, and you'll want me, and you would wish to see me sometimes, really." "I told you I did," he replied impatiently. "Sit on the settle and let me lean on your knee. That's as mamma used to do. Whole afternoons together. Sit quite still, and don't talk. But you may sing a song if you can sing, or you may say a nice, long, interesting ballad, one of those you promised to teach me, or a story. I'd rather have a ballad, though. Begin." Catherine repeated the longest she could remember. The employment pleased both mightily. Linton would have another, and after that another, notwithstanding my strenuous objections. And so they went on until the clock struck 12, and we heard Hareton in the court returning for his dinner. "And tomorrow, Catherine, you will be here tomorrow?" asked young Heathcliff, holding her frock as she rose reluctantly. "No," I answered, "nor next day neither." She, however, gave a different response, evidently for his forehead cleared as she stooped and whispered in his ear. "You won't go tomorrow, recollect, miss?" I commenced with when we were out of the house. "You are not dreaming of it, are you?" She smiled. "Oh, I'll take good care," I continued. "I'll have that lock mended, and you can escape by no way else." "I can get over the wall," she said, laughing. "The Grange is not a prison, Ellen, and you are not my jailer. And besides, I'm almost 17. I'm a woman, and I'm certain Linton would recover quickly if he had me to look after him. I'm older than he is, you know, and wiser. Less childish, am I not? And he'll soon do as I direct him, and wish some slight coaxing. He's a pretty little darling when he's good. I'd make such a pet of him if it were mine. We should never quarrel, should we, after we were used to each other? Don't you like him, Ellen?" "Like him!" I exclaimed. "The worst-tempered bit of a sickly slip that ever struggled into its teens. Happily, as Mr. Heathcliff conjectured, he'll not win 20. I doubt whether he'll see spring indeed, and small loss to his family whenever he drops off. And lucky it is for us that his father took him. The kinder he was treated, the more tedious and selfish he'd be. I'm glad you have no chance of having him for a husband, Miss Catherine." My companion waxed serious at hearing this speech. To speak of his death so regardingly wounded her feelings. "He's younger than I," she warned, after a protracted pause of meditation, "and he ought to live the longest. He will. He must live as long as I do. He's as strong now as he was when he came into the north. I'm positive of that. It's only a cold that ails him, the same as papa has. You say papa will get better, and why shouldn't he?" "Well, well," I cried. "After all, we needn't trouble ourselves, for listen, miss, and mind, I'll keep my word. If you attempt going to Wuthering Heights again with or without me, I shall inform Mr. Linton, and unless he allow it, the intimacy of your cousin must not be revived." "It has been revived," muttered Cathy sulkily. "You must not be continued, then," I said. "We'll see," was her reply, and she set off at a gallop, leaving me to toil in the rear. We both reached home before our dinner time, my master supposing we had been wandering through the park, and therefore he demanded no explanation of our absence. As soon as I entered, I hastened to change my soaked shoes and stockings, but sitting such a while at the Heights had done some mischief. On the succeeding morning I was laid up, and during 3 weeks I remained incapacitated for attending to my duties, a calamity never experienced prior to that period, and never, I am thankful to say since. My little mistress behaved like an angel, coming in to wait on me and cheer my solitude. The confinement brought me exceedingly low. It is wearisome to a stirring, active body, but few have slighter reasons for complaint than I have. The moment Catherine left Mr. Linton's room, she appeared at my bedside. Her day was divided between us. No amusement usurped a minute. She neglected her meals, her studies, and her play, and she was the fondest nurse that ever watched. She must have had a warm heart, and she loved her father so to give so much to me. I said her days were divided between us, but master retired early, and I generally needed nothing after 6 o'clock. Thus the evening was her own. Poor thing! I never considered what she did with herself after tea. And though frequently, when she looked in to bid me good night, I remarked a fresh color in her cheeks and a pinkness over her slender fingers, instead of fancying the hue borrowed from a cold ride across the moors, I laid the charge of a hot fire in the library. Now, if the actions of Linton do not remind you of Catherine, the mother, then you are missing a key parallel in the story, and the way that Linton is manipulating his emotions to win over Catherine, the same way that Mama Catherine, manipulated her emotions to win over Linton. And the other parallel would be Nellie is having none of it, just the way Heathcliff would have none of it. And so there's a stark parallel there between those characters.